All right, so this is going to be my presentation for the evaluation of special issues and populations presentation. I did mine on the section 504 policies and procedures. So I've got the PowerPoint in front of me. I'm going to go through the PowerPoint and just discuss my presentation. So, first thing I did was the overview. This is my 504 documentation binder that I use for my 504 plans currently. This includes all of the official and legal documentation that you have to use when you are planning a 504 plan. As the school counselor, I am the 504 coordinator for my school, so I handle and plan and implement all of the 504 plans. So, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act is used to provide school accommodations for life-altering disabilities that are not covered under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act. So basically that means that students with disabilities who do not qualify for an IEP can refer themselves to get a 504 plan to provide specific accommodations related to their disability. Like I said, an IEP trumps a 504. So if a student already has an IEP, they cannot qualify for a 504. But if a student is like academically too high, but still needs help to be successful as all of the other students in their classroom, then they can qualify for a 504. But there is like a long process before you can't just say like, I want a 504 plan. Section 504 plans can be used in elementary, secondary, post-secondary, and work settings. We're IDA, so basically like IEPs can only be used in elementary and secondary settings. A 504 plan can be used in college. It's a legal binding document, so you can use it as long as you want, and it's up for review every single year. Section 504 plans provide accommodations for students, and IDEA provides both accommodations and modifications. 504 plans cannot modify things for you. So there's a difference between accommodations and modifications. Accommodations provide things that can help you gain access to the same access like students without disabilities have in their classroom. So let's say, like, for example, I have a student who has a 504 plan because they're hard of hearing. That does affect them academically. So I'm providing accommodations to make sure, through a 504 plan, to make sure that the student has equal access to everything in the classroom that the students without disabilities have. So that looks like preferential seating. Maybe like he gets seated closer to the teacher, directions repeated, things like that. He can't have modified tests. So like I can't give him an easier test, or I can't like eliminate questions, anything like that, because that's what that's what an IEP would do. Section 504 plans are written to ensure that students with disabilities receive equal opportunity in their classroom setting as students without disabilities. Section 504 does not require that a diagnostic evaluation be performed to determine eligibility. So basically, when you're seeing if you're eligible for a 504 plan, I'm the 504 coordinator. I'm not going to diagnose you with anything. You have to come to me with a diagnosis. I can't do that. So 9 times out of 10, I always have to have a medical diagnosis from a medical professional to see that you actually have a disability. Every school has a designated Section 504 coordinator. This person is in charge of scheduling the 504 meetings, completing the required paperwork, gathering the data for evaluations, and writing the initial 504 plan if the student is determined eligible for the 504. If a child is eligible for the 504 is a fluid document that can be amended at any point in time. Section 504 plans are reevaluated every year by the 504 team. There is a 504 team that has to be present at every meeting to make determinations. The 504 team consists of the 504 coordinator, which is normally the school counselor. So I'm the 504 coordinator. You have an LEA representative, which is either the principal or the assistant principal. You have the parent or guardian present for the 504 team meetings, and then the classroom teacher. Sometimes if it's like a severe medical issue, you could have a nurse present because they have the health care plan, but normally the nurse does not participate. And like I said, it's a fluid document. So if the parent or guardian wants to call a 504 meeting at any point in time, it's allowed. And amendments can be made to it if we see that some things are working or some things aren't working. Most 504 plans are written to accommodate students with a medical diagnosis from a medical professional. The medical diagnosis must show that it's hindering the student's academic success. Another example, I had a student with sickle cell that they qualified for a IEP now, so they no longer have a 504, but while they were in the process of getting the IEP, they did have a 504 plan to help provide some accommodations because the sickle cell caused some learning delays. Okay, so there is a process for 504. People think oh, I want a 504 plan. There's 3 different meetings that you have to have. You have first step 1, which is the referral. In order for a 504 plan to be written or even talked about, a referral has to be made from either a medical professional, a parent or guardian, or a school advocate. Basically, that means I have to receive a written letter from a doctor, a parent, or a school advocate, like a teacher or the principal, saying that this student has this diagnosis. I want to refer them for a 504 plan to see if they're eligible. Okay, once I have that documented, then I can go forward with the referral. If the referral is given to me and I schedule a referral meeting with the team, so basically I call the parents, I'm like, hey, I got your referral, we're going to schedule a meeting where these people will be present, we're going to talk about the referral to see if we're going to accept it, because sometimes we don't accept the referral if we don't think we need to, but we always meet first.